अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, मैं अब्दुल वहाब AW न्यूज़ में आप सभी का खैर मकदम है। हमेशा आपके सामने हम अहम ख़ास खबरें लेके आते हैं। आज गज़ा और फ़िलिस्तीन से ताल्लुक़ रखने वाली अहम खबर जो कि ज़ाहिद रहमान जो कि 1 महीना खिदमत खल्क़ करके वापस आए हैं और इन्होंने बहुत ही इंसानियत का सबूत पेश किया है और जद्दोजहद के साथ पूरी टीम ने बहुत ही उम्दा तरीके से वहाँ पर काम को अंजाम दिया है। आइए सुनते हैं उनकी ज़ुबानी जनाब ज़ाहिद रहमान साहब के। सबसे पहले ज़ाहिद साहब आपका खैर मकदम है AW न्यूज़ में और बहुत-बहुत आपको मुबारकबाद देते हैं। पूरी दुनिया में आपने एक इंसानियत का एक ऐसा मैसेज दिया है कि अपनी जान जोखिम में डालकर आपकी पूरी होल टीम ने बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से हर वो तरीके से जितना हो सकता है आपने खिदमत अंजाम दी। इस दौरान आपको कितनी दुश्वारियां पेश आई और क्या-क्या आपको सामना करना पड़ा, बताइए आप।
Assalamu alaikum. So I was there, alhamdulillah, I was there for 1 month in Gaza. And while I was there, I worked at Aqsa Shuhada Hospital in Deir al-Balah. The challenge that we faced, everything from going in to staying to leaving. The first challenges were actually applying, being accepted. Once we got accepted, the next challenge was the night before entry into Gaza, where there was a high probability of us being rejected. And actually, usually 50% or more get rejected the night before. Then once you get into Gaza, the challenges are that number one, your safety. Your safety is always of concern. No one is safe. No one in Gaza is safe. They attack healthcare workers. It doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter what hospital they're in. They could be locals. They could be internationals. I know friends of mine that have been victims of injury because they were at a hospital where where there was a bombing, and they didn't suffer any physical injuries, but there were definitely emotional injuries. Then the other thing was the lack of medication, lack of water, lack of food. Because of the apartheid, there is nothing going in, nothing going out. It's a humanitarian blockade. And because of no resources, it's very difficult to take care of patients. And then including, after all that, the part of leaving also. There's very complicated processes to leave. There's thorough search by the IDF forces, what you're taking out with you, and how long you stayed. You undergo a lot of scrutiny, unfortunately, and there is no justice. There is no safety for anyone.
जाहिद साहब, हम वहाँ पर देखे आपके वीडियोस में कि आप लोग वहाँ पर कुछ वाटर पंप का भी जो सो वहाँ पर इजाद किए और फूड्स वगैरह भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे थे। मेडिकल सेंटर में होने के नाते आप लोग ये खिदमत भी अंजाम दिए। बहुत ही चैलेंज वाला ये आपका जो सो बहुत बड़ा ऑपरेशन था। इसके बारे में कुछ बताएंगे आप?
So the water and the food, that is my own personal NGO. My NGO is called Humanity Above All. So while I was there in Gaza doing my medical mission, I had some time to be able to do work for my personal NGO, and we were able to do food delivery. We were able to deliver groceries one day. We were able to deliver a meal another day. We were able to install water pumps another day. And this was all with donations that I received from people abroad. And we were able to do all this good. It was very challenging because acquiring the food, buying the food, it wasn't available. And then when it was available, it was very, very expensive. Same thing when we tried to do the meal distribution in Mawasi. In the video, you can see that we're there in Mawasi making the distribution, but what you don't hear is in the background, there's bombing happening while we were there while we were there distributing the food. Also, the water pump is in Khan Yunis. Khan Yunis is an area that has been under heavy bombing. and it's a very high risk area, but there's so many people there that we had to do something in order for them to drink water. Otherwise, they did not have clean, safe drinking water.
और एक चीज़, जब ये हालात जहाँ पर भी हो या कोई भी कम्युनिटी के हो पूरी दुनिया में, जब ऐसे वार्स होते हैं तो जो कंट्री में जिस तरीके से ये परेशानियों का सामना करना पड़ता है, तो आप पूरी दुनिया के लिए क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे एक बार?
So when it comes down to Gaza, I spoke to people that live there, doctors and nurses and patients. I will tell you from personal experience, they're some of the most loving people, the most gracious people, and people who have the highest level of faith I have ever seen in my life. There's a story I can share with you very quickly. There was a woman that I saw that I was walking out of the hospital with her child, and it was a baby. And from a distance, I couldn't tell, but when she got closer, I could tell that the baby was wrapped in a shroud. The baby had already died. And she was walking by herself. She left the hospital, she went across the street, she passed by someone who was selling some food, and then she came back, she stopped, she made a purchase, and then she continued on by herself. To me, that was very hard to watch because this woman had the burden of having to go home and bury this child by herself or figure something out. But at the same time, she had the burden and responsibility of worrying about who was at home and how to feed them and how to take care of them. When I spoke to the people in Gaza, they say that they do not want to be forgotten. They say, Zahed, go out and tell our story. Do not forget us. And I think everyone in Gaza wants the same things that we want. We want to get married. We want to raise children. We want to send them to school. We want to have the freedoms to move, to live, to travel, to work, not be suppressed by an occupation, not to be suppressed by a foreign government, and not to be in danger our entire lives. That's what they want. We don't want that. Why should they accept that?
नहीं, बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था, बहुत बड़ा टास्क है जो आपकी जो एनजीओज़ ने, आपके पूरी होल टीम ने जो काम किया है, काबिल तारीफ़ है। हम सलूट करते हैं जाहिद साहब आपको और आपकी पूरी होल टीम को कि आप अपनी जान जोखिम में डालकर एक इंसानियत का एक अहम जो सा मैसेज दिए हैं सबको, कि हम ये चाहेंगे कि हर कोई कंट्री में जब कभी ऐसे हालात होते हैं तो ऐसे ही जज्बा रखना चाहिए कि हम इंसानियत का एक ऐसा मिसाल कायम करें कि हम जितनी हो सके, जहाँ तक हो सके, हम जो है ना उनकी हेल्प करें, और हमारा एक हिस्सा है, हमारा भी एक पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ है। ऐसे लोग, उनके बारे में हमें फ़िक्रमंद होना चाहिए। हम बहुत आपका शुक्रगुज़ार है कि आपने कीमती वक्त दिया जाहिद साहब, और एडब्ल्यू न्यूज़ स्टूडियो में आने का बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। आपने अपना कीमती वक्त दिया, और जज़ाकल्लाह खैर। अल्लाह हाफिज़।